بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Welcome to episode 5 of the series Filtering Out What the Prophet ﷺ Never Said. The person asks about the hadith which says إن أبغض الحلال إلى الله الطلاق. The most hated of halal things, of permissible things to Allah is divorce. Now, this hadith is not authentically established from the Prophet ﷺ. It's weak, and the majority of people who narrated with a missing narrator in the chain, the companion who narrated, so it has a missing link, so to speak, in the chain, and that is the correct way to narrate that chain, showing that it's a weak hadith because that chain is disconnected, and that's what most of the people who are trustworthy and reliable of narrators who narrated this hadith, narrated with a chain showing that disconnect, showing that it's missing the companion who narrated. So if we don't know who narrated, there's a disconnect between that person and the Prophet ﷺ because they didn't mention the name of the companion, and so it was mentioned by several scholars of hadith that it is weak. It's a weak hadith. It's not authentically established from the Prophet ﷺ. Now, when it comes to divorce, generally speaking, divorce is something that's permissible in Islam. But it shouldn't be taken lightly or done for no good reason. It's not something, just because it's permissible doesn't mean that it's something good in of itself, or it's something that people should just get a divorce for no good reason, for no valid reason. So obviously divorce is something good in of itself, but that being said, it might be needed in some situations. Again, we don't want to go to either extreme. The one extreme where people say, never get a divorce no matter what, and the other extreme that people get a divorce for the slightest of matters, even if it's not that big of a deal. But in some cases, divorce is permissible because it's the best available option for everyone involved, and so it should be looked at case by case. We can't say divorce is good for everyone, or no one should get a divorce. It should be looked at case by case by a knowledgeable scholar to assess and evaluate and give advice for the people. So people shouldn't rush into divorce. At the same time, it is permissible. It is an option in some cases where that's the best available option for everyone involved, because some people aren't meant to live together forever for the rest of their life, and if they find that out after marriage, in some cases, they have the option of divorce. That being said, divorce shouldn't be the default where people, for the smallest of things, resort to divorce, because that's not good in of itself, and obviously it has, or might lead to other issues. And so it's important to actually assess each situation by someone knowledgeable. People stop and think and try to rectify things if they are able to. If they're minor issues, in more serious cases, again, divorce is permissible as an option, but shouldn't be taken lightly, but rather used as a last resort. And as for that hadith saying that the most hated of permissible things to Allah is divorce, that's not an authentically established hadith, and it's actually weak. So there, we can't base anything on it. Barakallahu fikum, jazakumullah khaira, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.